Hello, music fans, underground enthusiasts, and those who never quite got the hang of bar chords. It's weekly list time. It's that time of the week where I show you some songs that came out recently that I enjoyed, tell you why I enjoy them, and you, without second thought, agree with me. Because as a subscriber of this channel, it is morally and ethically imperative that you agree with whatever I say with no other thought. But here's the thing, other than morally righteous, I'm also pretty humble and open to other opinion. So in the comments down below, I would love it if you guys told me what you're listening to as well. I don't know, sometimes I feel like I find myself going in circles with a lot of the artists and the songs and the scenes that I cover here, so if there's an artist that you like a lot, that you feel like I haven't really ever paid attention to or shined a spotlight on, let me know, because, I don't know, I like hearing new stuff too. Anyways, without further ado, let's do it. Kicking off this week is a screeching emo-core track about the Twilight Saga by Say You Won't Let Go. It's called Renesmee, which, if you're not aware, is the name of which, if you're not aware, is the name of Edward and Bella's vampire, half-vampire baby that Bella gives birth to in the fourth movie. Listen, I've seen Twilight. Actually, one night I built a blanket fort and watched all 5 in succession. I wouldn't call myself a preeminent expert on the subject, but I'm able to kind of connect the dots with the lyrics here, so I know what I'm talking about.
Which, if you're not aware, is the name of Jake,
The song is earnest in its writing, but also sort of acts as a pastiche of mid-2000s emo-core in the writing and the vocals. The shrill and whiny screams, these chugging power chords, and melodies all scream nostalgia to me, but I do love getting these defining emo aesthetics through the lens of the narrative of these movies. Because honestly, if you've never seen the Twilight films, this song still stands strong as a sentimental and kind of love-struck track. It works both ways here, but obviously if you're familiar with the source material, you'll probably get more out of it. But you take all of that and throw in some really great vocal performances, a very nice, catchy, and compelling chorus, and you've got a song that any scene kid would trip over themselves to hit play on their MP3 player for. I think it's super creative, but also beyond that, it's very well made with some great instrumentation, some really fun, familiar aesthetics, and it's just a great performance. Not to mention the song's actually pretty sweet. So, what can you say? And then up next we have Claude with Nothing New, which also features Naito and Daiso. I feel like I can always rely on Claude for cleanliness, from the vocals to the mix to the production. Everything here is so shiny and smooth, playing heavily into the textures of the track to build the aesthetic. It's got a bit of a hazy digicore sound, which isn't surprising to me at all, but still very welcome. Aesthetic, stuttered trap drums, sliding synths, all throughout this beat are super bubbly and sweet, and Claude's vocals here are sort of pushed down into a bit more of a delicate vocal range, heavily processed but still gentle in their delivery. Both features here also fit nicely into the sonic palette, perpetuating this swirling, glossy sound. It has some really good writing to it, but I'm also really focused on just how layered this track is. As soft as it sounds on arrival, it gets a little chaotic at points, with background vocals kind of fighting for dominance in the stereo space, in a good way though. It's a song that is very fun to listen to, has some really nice ear candy in the textures, and some sweet lyrics as well. Up next, we have got Simon M. with If You Really Love Me / Peter. This song is a flip of a song of the same name by Montreal band Croco, as well as various voice lines from beloved television icon Peter Griffin. Simon takes the plucky sort of bossa nova vibe here and turns it into an abrasive electronic track, sliding metallic scraping across massive walls of 808s and Peter Griffin doing crack. It's a fun flip and recontextualizes the track with great creative liberty. It's cool to see how Simon was able to take the core of the original song and implant it into an entirely different sound and direction. The drums are brash and erratic, and the newly added guitars are these shiny math riffs that almost fight against the harsh textures of everything else. It's a cool remix that has also introduced me to a pretty sick band. Shinigami has dropped Breaking the Bones in My Hands, which is an intense electronic-inspired hip-hop sound, which feels experimental but kind of in a familiar way, like a new perspective or repackaging on what Shinigami has consistently provided recently. The indulgent repetition and foggy distortion of the production, paired with Shinigami's relentless flows, makes this song feel confident and kind of intimidating in its tone, but the writing on this is pretty much anything but that. Doubting the capability to be a force of good for others and lacking stability dominates the lyrics here, but part of me feels like it's presented with an intentional sort of facade, like Shinigami won't let himself feel a cathartic release from the emotional awareness of the lyrics because he's too focused on holding himself responsible for it. So apart from this insanely cool, icy, and creative aesthetic, the song is emotionally overwhelmed in a way, almost in a juxtaposing state of actualization and denial. So in that way, it's incredibly well written, and the sound and aesthetic of the production and of the vocals does a great job of reflecting the intensity of the writing here. It's definitely a recent favor from him. It feels manic and aggressive, and I love it. And then up next, Micah brings the boom with Boom. The song's called Boom. The guys that say the boom. If the cover art does not give it away, the song gets a little bit silly. But that is not to be reductive of the quality and effort that was put into the song. It is a bass-heavy synth pop track that is full of snark and personality, but also engaging composition and a great use of texture. Some of the vocal deliveries here are exaggerated and a little tongue-in-cheek, but that only reinforces how infectiously fun everything here really is. The repetitive hook is hypnotizing after a certain point, and I think that Micah having that groove dominate a large portion of the song here is a really good idea, letting it take hold of the listener and let it take over. And J.O.'s contribution here is great too, supplying a sort of trancey bridge to give the song a smooth transition and build up into that final hook. It's a lot of fun in its vocals, in its production, in its writing. It's truly the song that keeps on giving. We're going to close this week out with Parkbird's new track, Running. The sound design on this song is infuriatingly good. It makes me mad how pretty it sounds. The intro production is pretty much enough to have you sold immediately on this track. The backing guitar delicately plucking underneath a drier lead is a beautiful dynamic. There's a lot of string work going on at once, but it ends up sounding seamless and casual because of how well it's mixed. Nothing fighting here in the mix for dominance, and each component finding a nice pocket to rest in. The mixing is functional and the playing is technical, so the sound can be beautiful and ultimately elegant. It has this real sweet acoustic jazz sound with Parkbird's warm vocal tone feeling very playful over the melodies of the instrumental. I can feel myself kind of just wanting to go on and on and on about how this track sounds, and I don't want to continue to repeat myself with the same thing, but I do want to reinforce just how lush and soothing this song is. It's scarily clean, and Parkbird's vocals unravel sprawling landscapes of imagery and emotion. I love the way this song sounds. I love it. And that'll do it for this week's list of songs. If you have listened to these songs, let me know what you thought about them. And if you haven't, go listen to them, come back and tell me how you feel about them. I value your opinion. Catch me in the next video where I launch my one-man podcast that rehashes old hot takes and brings up bygone drama that everybody has forgot about and provides a spin on it that is not original in any way.